Alright, so this is gonna be our vlog. This is for my reading project for Miss Danielle Howard. Just gonna kind of wing it, go along with it. Just talk about my topic, which was how globalization of media has an effect in literacy. I got my friend here, Cesar. We have him for class. And I got my dog Luna. Oh, I'm not don't have him for class anymore. But no, yeah. So we're gonna basically just be talking about. We're gonna go get food right now. I'm gonna be talking about foreign media and how it affects and impacts literacy in a negative and positive way. But ultimately, my main answer was that it does affect it in a positive way, and it gives students like us who go to college and are introduced to this big diversity of all types of people there. That's actually like the first time we're ever introduced to a diversity of people, because high school is still kind of local and all those elementaries are still kind of local, but this is mainly for college students, my target audience, that is. But yeah, so right now we are gonna see if Wingstop is open. But HEB's closed, Walmart's open. But fuck it, I want to see if Wingstop's open. We'll see how that goes. I think Chick-fil-A's also, it's Sunday, never mind. Chick-fil-A's always closed on Sundays. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I'm going to ask a few questions to Cesar. It's just going to be a me and one-on-one thing throughout this whole video together. And so yeah, and then maybe later we'll take it to online. We'll see how many. Dude, my dog is freaking out back there. It's hilarious. Calm down, mamas. But yeah, so what do you think of foreign things in general? So when you hear the word foreign, what comes straight to your mind?
Well, I'm thinking of other cultures mainly. I think it's pretty good. It's cool to learn about other people and their experiences and how they grew up and stuff like that.
Damn, that shit's closed. Alright, so we're just found out that Wingstop is closed as fuck, and we're gonna go to Domino's. Is there a Domino's I think there's a Domino's in Palmhurst, right? Alton?
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go to Domino's right now. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and open the door for my dog, because she gets a little hectic. Alright, so yeah, I kind of think of the same thing, other people's different culture. It's always something new to learn. We're not the only people on this planet. There's even people that aren't people on this planet. There's animals, there's aliens, the usual. But what do you think mainly affects your perspective when you watch foreign shows or watch anything that has to deal with something foreign?
Well, obviously, the language barrier, there's a lot of reading to do. And then you kind of start picking up on certain words, not necessarily the language as a whole, but just certain words that you can kind of pick out and be like, I know that one specific word. And then the food, a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. Is
that, you either see something that you've never seen before, or something you're like, that's kind of, I've had something similar to that.
Yeah.
And then there's also a lot of other things like schools. I know in a lot of different parts of the country, or not the country but the world, that there's a lot of schools that are a lot more, I guess, uniform, a lot more strict about uniform and about having what would you call it, a schedule. They have a lot more strict schedules and stuff like that. And then
yeah, I've seen some stuff about that, with Japanese schools and stuff like that, how they have, until when you're a third year, you cannot be doing any more sports. That's when you focus on school, unless you're at a school that is mainly for sports. But let's say you're just a regular Japanese high school, they stop all sports activity once you become a senior, which was a 12 year, is what they call it over there. They call it year 12, year 11, year 10, rather than here freshman, sophomore. There's a bunch of different things that you learn as you watch different types of TV shows or are into different types of media, podcasts, all from around the world. But But yeah, so that's mainly one thing that changes a lot of perspectives in a lot of people. But I think watching shows from another culture can also benefit people's mindset and how they treat others that same culture. And it can always be, it's always supposed to be a good mindset, but sometimes there's shows where they kind of like bash other types of cultures in these types of shows. And in those shows they how would I explain it, like for example, they'll have something where they discriminate Egyptians. This is an example. They'll discriminate Egyptians, and they'll have like a high superiority of another race, even though it's not right. And there'll be kids looking at this video or this show. Sorry, there'll be kids watching this, and you know it's something that you don't want your kids really watching. And I heard actually recently there was like something going on where they're adding a lot of like, I don't know how to explain. It was on a Ben Shapiro. So Ben Shapiro was talking about how they're adding a lot of like gayness, I guess you can call it, or like homosexuality in Disney shows and Disney kids shows. That they're putting it like hard into their minds, like not like something subtle or something like, you know, like something that people wouldn't really mind, because obviously people need to know about that, you know, whether they support it or not. But the thing with that is that there's people who work at Disney who are blatantly like confessing to like, oh yeah, like I be putting in like so and so this, so and so that, and like they laugh about it, like if it's not, like they're messing with kids' minds basically, and it's not something to laugh over, obviously. But you know, and then there's like different cultures that don't even support that, and then they're putting that in Disney shows. And obviously sometimes like they'll have different countries that kind of like, you know, like, oh, like you can't watch like the interview with North Korea. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's another main thing.
And then I was seeing that censorship in different parts of the world, like in America, we care more about censoring violence and cuss words than we do about actual like sexual situations. But in, you know, Asian countries, they're fine with violence and gore, but they're more they censor more sexual things than over here in the Western world, which is kind of the opposite. And that's just something I've noticed a lot, that I see a lot of people talking about.
Yeah, that actually is very true. Now that I like think about it, I think we passed Domino's, man.
I think so. I was paying attention.
I'm gonna say, like, are we going to campus or what's going on here? But so little detour. We're gonna go back, turn around Domino's. But no, yeah. So I did notice that a lot, and I want to say like a big theme is the reason why we censorship like language and stuff like that is because I guess America views that as like now I don't want to say a bad thing, but like something that's disrespectful in a way. As for sex things and sexual things, it's, you know, it's just, they're bound to learn what it is. It's just part of human life. But as for other countries, they think like, hey, that's disrespectful. And, you know, gore and violence, they're bound to learn that at some point in life, because a lot of, I don't want to be, okay, this is being something very stereotypical, but I feel like they open up gore and violence in those Asian countries because a lot of them plan out to be doctors, and they get used to that gore and violence at a very young age, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like that could be an example right there. Like they get used to that, and so it's like, I don't know, like it opens up their eyes and it shows them that like the world is not as peaceful as you think. Basically, loss of innocence. I think I take a left right here. No, where do I take a left?
I thought it was one of these strip malls.
Like further down?
I remember. By the time I'm here on my way home, I just don't even pay attention.
I'm gonna take a left here, just in case, but I'm not so sure, to be honest. I want to say it's a left right here. Huh?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, it's here. yeah. So now we're gonna go to get Domino's. And basically pick up pizza, and then we'll just pick up off where we left off back at my house.
Yeah, sounds good.